Overboard by Psygnosis was made in 1997. This game was also called Shipwreckers in the States. That's quite facepalm worthy, but never mind. Anyway, this game, even though this review is probably going to be very short, that doesn't necessarily make this game less important than the other games that I've done 13 parters on, like Monster Seed. Overboard is a very simple game. That's not to say simple games are bad. I mean, just look at Super Mario Brothers. That game's simple in concept and design, but at the same time is one of the best games ever made. So how does Overboard play? Well, think of it this way. It plays like those very old school first person shoot 'em ups, like Doom for example. Instead of being a guy with a gun in a building filled with corridors and stuff, you're a pirate on a ship in a network of rivers and streams and stuff, and you're basically blowing the shit out of everything that moves. You do get to collect weapons, you do have to open doors by destroying switches, you do have to raid ports for places where you can save your progress and stuff like that. It's a very good game. It also had 5-player multiplayer, but you won't be seeing that in this review because, well, basically I don't have 4 other guys here with me. But imagine it to be a bit like combat, but with boats. Anyway, as you can see, I'm raiding a port here, and you know, this is basically what you have to do throughout the entire game, in single player mode that is. There are 5 areas in Overboard single player campaign, all split up into 4 stages, so there are in fact 20 stages in this game, each getting progressively harder. This game doesn't treat you like an idiot. You can still die on level 1. It's not a very simple game in that respect. The levels later on do get quite devious, and you are actually fighting off other pirate ships from all sides. The whole point of Overboard is basically just to try and get as much treasure as possible and get from A to B without dying. To help you in this quest, you do pick up power-ups and weapons. You only start off with 2, but later on you get rockets and all sorts of other crazy crap. These are the really inventive traps that I was telling you about. Those things can kill you flat out if you don't watch what you're doing. So timing and patience is key, just like in those old school platforms like, say, Super Mario Brothers for example. It wouldn't surprise me actually if Bowser was actually the captain of the enemy fleet, because all these traps and stuff is actually kind of the crazy crap that he would actually come up with to kill Mario. The presentation in Overboard actually is fantastic. The graphics and the sound are very pleasing to the eye. Okay, they may not be the best stuff you'll ever find on the PlayStation, but you know, this is when Psygnosis actually were allowed to create good games by Sony. It's a shame that they're not developing games like this anymore, because, like, you know, Psygnosis were a very good development company, and unfortunately, well, Sony just sank them. In my opinion, Overboard is actually one of the more overlooked titles on the PlayStation back catalogue. It's actually a very good game. It's very old school. It has a very old school design philosophy where, you know, simple concepts with, you know, very enjoyable gameplay. I highly recommend you checking this game out because it happens to be like one of my more preferred titles on the PlayStation, so to speak. Anyway, this has been Danny, and I guess I'll catch you guys later. Bye!